So from an employer branding point of view, we did take some immediate actions when the crisis hit at TUI. And you will notice here that the red thread in all these actions were around communications. So even if really overnight our entire business was hit, we still made sure that we communicated to our candidates and followers and talent pools as well. So that was through some social media posts, telling them to keep dreaming, to keep hoping, because we will come out of this crisis. We also did some individual candidate communications on top of the mass communication. So being quite transparent with candidates, telling them if you were in an application process, we have to put this on hold because of the current COVID situation. And the third thing is that we already made use of user-generated content, because I guess it was the same for a lot of companies when COVID hit. Budgets were frozen because nobody really knew what was going to happen and what we could do. So here, what we started doing was really making use of this user-generated content, encouraging our employees to be able to communicate about their experiences, what they may be doing during the crisis, and using this as well as part of our official communications to show how things were being managed, that things were still carrying on within TUI. So these were like the actions that we took when the crisis hit TUI. But despite the COVID and the crisis, actually, we knew that the summer holiday was still in people's minds. And I guess you'll share the same feeling as me, which was that when we were in lockdown, stuck at home, we could really dream about summer holiday, where to go. So we knew that our product and our business still had a place, because despite the temporary situation, there will still be a future for the industry. And the same thing as well, that the other thing, that we took into account is that actually our business, our industry is kind of used to a crisis, because every crisis in the world can be a crisis for tourism. And I'm mentioning this because before Corona, we saw volcanoes erupting with volcanic ash shutting all airports. We saw some terror attacks that made people reconsider flying to some places. Of course, we had natural disasters like tsunamis smashing some parts of the world where we also operate, and some conflicts as well, and war that again kind of shut some areas in the world, unfortunately. And that is really something that stuck to me when I joined TUI in January, when I spoke to a colleague who said that actually, yes, COVID was hard, but we are used to navigating a crisis. We know how to do that. We know how to adapt. And it's also one of our strengths.